March 28th. Notes from Papa. To my very, very special child, whom I delight in being with every day. You and I talk. That is obvious to you, but may seem like a trite thing for me to say. I want it to be just as obvious to all my children, and every human being is my child. I created you for community, for us to be together, to do life together, to communicate, and to love each other. You know from Scripture that I talked with Adam and Eve. I talked with Cain and Abel. Abraham and I talked. Isaac and Jacob and Joseph and I talked. Moses and Joshua and I talked. David and I talked. Isaiah and Jeremiah and Daniel and I talked. Mary and Joseph and John the Baptist and I talked. I continued to talk to Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Paul, James, Jude, after my resurrection and ascension. All throughout the ages, I talked to my children. I have never been distant, separate, or apart from any of my children. Young and old, men and women, every color and nationality and status. They are all my children. The assumption of the lie of separation has created a great darkness in the mind of so many of my children that they have not been able to see what is. They have not been able to see that I am in them the hope of glory. But for each and every one of them, just as is the case with you, there is coming a day when they will each know that Jesus is in me, and they are in me, and we are in them. On that day, they will know. They will hear us clearly. And as you know, everything changes on that day. That day can be today. I have no reason and no desire for any of my children to not hear my voice. Some incorrectly think that they don't want to hear me speak to them because they're afraid of what I might. They're afraid that I'm going to condemn them and shame them and guilt them and chastise them for their sin. Nonsense. I took everyone's sin away at the cross. I forgave it all. I don't impute or count sin against anyone ever. I choose to not remember it or bring it up for the very reason so that it will never, ever have any effect on our relationship, our community, and your ability to hear my voice and enjoy my love. Some people even still believe the preposterous lie that I can't stand to be in the presence of sin. I want them to see that Jesus forever dispelled that horrendous lie by his incarnation. Some people still believe the lie that I only speak to squeaky, clean, morally perfect people who have cleaned up their act. How they forget about David, Moses, Abraham, Rahab, and Saul. I am so glad that I can talk, that you and I can talk. And I want you to encourage others to listen for my voice too. You know how sweet it is. I love you and everyone, and I am for you and everyone. Love, Papa.